It's time
for
finding
finding
balance
balance with
Facey
and Coley.
Coley. All right.
Good afternoon,
Good
everybody.
afternoon. It is afternoon here.
It has. We've been on
Yeah.
a sabbatical
Mm-hmm.
for a while, haven't we?
A whole week.
No one noticed.
I noticed.
I bet you our 16
Our 16 subscribers noticed.
I know one. You tried getting an extra.
I'm actually one of the subscribers.
Are you? I'm
Yeah.
not. I refuse.
Oh.
But I do.
I
Yeah.
am.
Oh.
So it's easier for me to find it whenever I'm on
Is that
YouTube.
why?
Yes.
Okay. Or do you just try?
I just
are
hit
you trying to
subscribe.
build it up?
Because whenever I go on YouTube and look up Finding Balance with Facey Coley,
It's
I don't see anything.
No.
So I just have to hit my subscribe
people
button.
have tried
so
to
it pops
ask
up.
me about it, and I'm like, don't bother.
It's like in there somewhere.
It is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird faces out there, though. Too. There's somebody that's
There
involved with
is.
like four wheel mudding.
Don't look up Facey.
No, don't.
look it
That'll
up.
look really bad, and it's not even me.
It's not him.
It's most of the time. They may be. There's a photography
the one
Facey that's
Facey-
really good.
Yeah, and the one Facey that's somehow involved with the redneck games in Alabama, that is not the same person.
It may
by the
be
way.
actually. I may have
Could be a
started
relative.
that. I went through some weird times in college, so I may have been a part of that. I just passed Wetumpka, by the way, Alabama.
Yeah.
We took some weird route. Beautiful little town.
What was it called?
Wetumpka.
I've
And
never
then
heard of it.
Sicalosa, I think Sicalaga. I mean, it's crazy. I love.
Those are they? I wonder if those are Native American names.
I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would assume that may be ignorant on my part. It probably is. It
Sounds Native American.
Okay, or it sounds ignorant on my part. Okay, so today, everybody,
Yeah.
our plan is on this. We're inside because it's
Mhm.
starting to get
It's starting
chilly
to get cold outside.
here in these parts. So we wanted to freshen. We need to stay warm. Actually, I'm
Mhm.
wearing fall
It's the biggest
colors.
We don't have to worry about mosquitoes.
You're wearing the same things you always wear.
pretty much
Running
shorts.
gear.
Yeah,
Short running gear.
yeah.
Ready to go?
I'm ready to go at any
I
time.
know I should.
Literally,
I
I'm
know.
ready to go.
I need to get my running gear. It makes me want to work out.
unless
a
I'm
little
at
bit more.
work, I'm
Mhm.
probably going to be in shorts or something that I can move briskly in.
You like to move
I
briskly.
do. That is true.
Yeah, you're an athletic.
Thanks, man.
You're a mover
I'm a mover.
and a shaker. What age are you on now?
I what age? 47.
Is that true?
That is true.
Ah,
That is true.
I think you said 47 7 years ago.
No, I said 47 this whole year.
Are you sure?
Now I'll turn 48 December 1st, and we're in the we're already what is it
Yeah, what
October
are you gonna
the
do for your 48th birthday? Is that silver or
is it a silver?
diamonds? I mean, what do you do to
isn't
celebrate?
doesn't that have
That's
something to do with
anniversaries,
yeah,
yeah.
it has something to do with
I know,
marriage,
but you can
anniversaries.
still.
What am I gonna do? I have thought about it. I've actually put some good thought in it. I want to
Camping.
go. I'll probably will go hiking.
Overseas.
Probably not overseas. Not over.
Very
Definitely
nice.
not overseas. But I have thought about my 50th birthday. Where will I go?
Where are you gonna go?
There's a couple places that really kind of stand out. One is Greece. I think Greece would be fun.
Oh yeah, and it's pretty cheap I hear right now.
That's what I understand. Greece.
Yeah.
So that's on my list of places to
Ooh,
go.
That's a good one.
And that's probably number one.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have thought about Australia because I'm kind of fascinated with Australia in
I
a
feel
way.
like it's just upside down United States.
But it's, I don't know. It's
mean,
not on my. It's not.
I
number
love it.
one.
I
Greece.
love Australians.
Greece.
Every
Oh, the
Australian
Australians
I've ever
are
met.
so cool, right? Any Australian
So
that
much
I've
fun.
met
Most fun people.
are so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kind
so cool,
and adventurous.
adventurous. And you know what? I've noticed that if they're involved in like an athletic event,
Yeah.
they're usually one of the best athletes. I don't know what it is, but swimming,
Oh, yeah,
running.
swimmers.
I mean,
No doubt. Australian
They're so
swimmers
good.
are incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a former subpar swimmer myself.
yeah,
So I could never compete with an Australian.
I know it. If you saw an Australian in a swimming event, you were just like,
I
well,
quit. I give
that's
up.
it.
Nope, that's not what I do.
No, he doesn't. He
Because
doesn't
it's
give
about
up.
finding balance. I don't
That's
quit.
Speaking of finding balance, so today we with all the current events taking place, we
Yeah.
just want to talk about love and its
Yeah.
importance. One of the things that we had mentioned too was bridging the gap. How do you bridge the gap between love and hate?
Yeah, how do we make somebody who is so angry and just divisive, right?
Mhm.
And in many ways, um, feel that need for revenge and
Yeah.
lacking any type of forgiveness? How do we bridge the gap towards love and understanding,
Mhm.
right? Um,
And what was it Gandhi said about an eye for an eye?
oh yeah, what
What
did
did
you
he
turn
say?
it into?
Well, I was thinking about if if you live your life an eye for an eye, then you lose sight of what's ahead.
Yeah, he stole this from
I didn't steal it from
Yeah,
Gandhi.
he
Gandhi
did
said
steal
something different.
an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind.
An eye
Yes.
for an eye
Yeah.
makes the whole world
So you
blind. Yeah.
basically stole Gandhi, but you made
I
it
didn't even know it.
and lose
It was
sight.
close.
Lose sight of what though? Lose
Yeah.
sight of the real
Lose sight of your own humanity.
yeah, or the real purpose of living. So I think
Yeah.
it goes back to sometimes
And is an eye for an eye, is the an eye for an eye only teaching further hate?
yeah. I mean, often we
How
talk
do
about
we?
in our everyday lives, we talk about bullying, right?
Yeah.
And how oftentimes those that are bullied end up being bullies later in life, and it goes
Mhm.
on and within their households if they're bullied or abused by family members, they oftentimes become bullies later on in life. I mean, it's just that cycle.
Evil,
Um,
an evil cycle.
yeah, that we keep on doing. So how do we bridge that gap? I mean, I could always say severe, having very severe counseling can often help and improve
Hmm.
issues of that, just that rage and revenge seeking attitude that we always have. But
Hmm.
um,
Because I don't know. I mean, not to get too like, because I don't want this to be a religious discussion, but
yeah,
where does turning the other cheek
go
where
wrong too.
I mean, where does it go wrong, or
Yeah,
does it ever go wrong
when
to turn
keeping
the
it
other
real
cheek?
goes wrong as well. Yeah.
Turning the other cheek because
What do you
um,
believe in? Do you think turning the other cheek always, we always need to turn the other cheek?
well,
Looking at Judeo Christian
not
values?
turning the other cheek to ignore a problem, or um, you know, I think we've got to take up for people who can't take up for themselves. So
Yeah.
now, for instance, I would go out of. I feel like I wanted to say that I would go out of my way to help someone who is in need, or
Yeah.
who can't defend themselves.
You would help a rando for sure.
I would help a rando.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if there was a transgression against myself, right?
Mhm.
I would hope that I would have enough strength to to find to find. Gosh, and I don't want this to sound mushy, or
Yeah, it's sounding mushy.
it
but
is
that's
sounding
okay.
mushy, but God,
We
just
can do that every once in a while.
maintaining a balance, and but keeping things under control emotionally,
Yeah.
and trying to find a positive outcome.
Yeah, and I think it's like find a positive perspective
Mm.
and also thinking about big picture, right? And
Mhm.
finding compromise in everything we do. I think those are like huge valuable lessons that we should and could learn from parents, or even mentors, but oftentimes we don't have that, in our lives.
So I don't want to get in a cycle, like you mentioned, a cycle
Mhm.
of
Continue.
this person did something wrong against
Oh,
me.
yeah.
I am going to do something wrong against them.
Yeah.
Because the old saying, two wrongs don't make a right, is so true.
Yeah, I'll tell you, in college, I used to have a list. I used to call it Facey's poop list,
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so it's like if someone did in college, everybody does
Yeah.
terrible things to
Poop
one
list.
another. I didn't call it a poop list. It was
Oh, yeah, I
meaner.
got you.
It rhymed with list,
Yeah.
but that was a nice way of saying it because this is a PG rated, show.
Yeah, we want it to be family.
Yeah,
friendly.
we're trying to be family friendly. I bet you we may have a subscriber in there that's probably 2 or 3, maybe.
May
Who knows?
or
But,
at least under the age of 18.
Yeah, so the fact is, that for 2 or 3 years it was funny, so
Mm-hmm.
that's why I did it. But then I realized, oh my gosh, I really created some, like, people look forward to my list and see what I would do
Mm-hmm.
to get revenge on people, more
Mm-hmm.
for the humor of it. But
Right.
it ended up being pretty pretty sad in the end,
Mm-hmm.
like people would be hurt. And you start having to realize, like, is that being hurtful towards somebody? Like, what's the real purpose? It
Mm-hmm.
may make you feel okay for a second. You're like, ah, but then you
Mm-hmm.
realize, like, what am I doing in the grand scheme of things?
Mm-hmm.
Um, whatever you believe in, it doesn't feel good overall, right? So when we talk about finding balance, a lot of it's self awareness and finding some self gratification. It doesn't feel good to necessarily be unkind towards
No.
one another.
No. And if you think about it, how good it feels to be kind towards
Yeah, and
others,
to
you
do
know?
well, and we understand, guys, that there's a lot of people suffering right now,
Mm-hmm.
and you just hope that there's cooler heads always prevail.
Yeah. And I think we've got to, God, yeah, I want us to, I want humans to be able to love each other, right? To
Yeah.
love each other and respect each other and want the best from each other. Um, I mean, I know we're capable of changing the cycle. I
Yeah.
know we're capable, but it starts,
Oh, and I think
golly,
we're
it
only two
starts.
or three cycles away, generationally speaking,
Mm-hmm.
of really making like a massively incredible impact, like when we start making those positive impacts
Mm-hmm.
throughout human history. I think we're so close, but the divisiveness we talked
Mm-hmm.
about kind of get in the way,
Mm-hmm.
that we hear about everybody talking about. But still, objectively, I mean, we're doing the United States and just
Yeah.
the world in and of itself, we're faring better than we
Oh,
have
in a long
ever
time.
before.
Yeah.
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 So,
Isolated. There's isolated. It seems like we're inundated in the news, but it is so much more isolated than it used to be.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. And I think that communication overall has been a great thing for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I see over here you have a very big book.
I do. I do. I have a great book that has to do with what we're talking about today, and I'm reading Humankind. It's by
It's
Rutger
a
Bregman.
freaking big book.
It's a good. Oh, it's so
It's a
good.
big
You've
old
got to
book.
check it out. Um,
Who's it? Okay, who is this
Rutger Bregman.
Rutger
All
Bregman?
right, he's actually from Holland, and so
He's Dutch.
he's Dutch, and he talks about in here lots of studies, lots of stories.
What's his background?
Um,
Is he actually?
I really don't know what his background
Is
is.
he a doctor
I don't think
or a
he's a
professor?
doctor. Uh, I don't even know what he
Oh,
is.
it
It says
says,
he's a provocative thinker.
and it says he's a more politically radical Malcolm Gladwell.
Oh,
Whoa.
that is.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy. I love Malcolm Gladwell.
Um,
It's fascinating.
Now the book is basically about, and it's called a hopeful history. And so, if you're an idealist like
Of
myself,
course
you
you
will
are.
love
You
it.
sicko.
But it really tells stories about how humans really, at the heart of it, are good. Humans are good, but
Yeah,
oftentimes
we
what
do.
we look for, whether what we end up looking for and gravitating towards, has only been the bad
Hmm.
in human history, right? Um, that's what we that's what we associate a lot of historical events with,
It's
like World War
provocative.
II. And
Yeah.
yeah, we look at all these, but so what this book is it's talking about all the goodness that people were doing throughout these really really dark times, like World
Ah,
War II. Actually, how much good was taking place,
I like that.
because most of the time we end up learning mostly about all the bad,
Yeah.
but it's talking about all the goodness that was taking place during these dark times.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually like that as part of
Yeah.
human history. That would be a good history class actually.
Mhm. And it talks too about how the news, because negative sales, so it talks about how the news has normally focuses on, and so it focuses on the bad. So when we as viewers see the news, what do we think's happening all over the world? Bad things constantly.
Yeah.
But and while they are happening, there's actually a whole lot more good taking place
Yeah.
than bad, and I love that. I
And
wish we
even
could focus
good
more on the good.
within the bad
Mm-hmm.
that
And
we don't tend to see every day.
and if humans were if we basically sit there and watched all the good things that were happening all the time to
Yeah.
people, we would have a wholly different perspective towards our own humankind.
Wouldn't it?
We would be like, God, we would feel good, we would feel uplifted, and we would probably be more likely to want to run out and help people.
Yeah.
Because we want to be a part of all the goodness. But because all we see is the negative, we start like closing up, and we start thinking, oh man, they can't be good. They probably have alternative motives, and so we are affected negatively by all the negativity. So what we got to do is start focusing on the positive, so that we'll be affected in a positive way, and we'll want to spread it and continue the positive things that are happening, rather than hide from all the negative that we think
That's true.
is taking place.
No, I'm with you. Hey, make it happen.
Let's make it happen, right?
Start a broadcast on positive history,
Mm,
positive news.
yeah.
I think it's been done. I
Well,
think that was
Good news. I think I actually am a
Kaczynski.
subscriber
Yeah,
to Good News.
yeah. How many subscriptions do you have? Do you just jump right in?
Well, if it's
Your
good
own
news,
podcast, Good News. No, I think I
Mhm.
subscribe to that one too.
Mhm.
It's good.
Well,
Okay.
I think that's.
I
that's
think
it.
until
Go out and
next
spread
time.
some positivity.
Yes, spread positivity, love,
Love each other,
not hate.
not hate.
I know. Let's try to be better every day.
Mhm.
That's what we're both trying to do, right?
Exactly.
Are you?
Yes. Hey, I love you, man.
Love you too, bro.
Until
Finding
next time,
Finding
Finding
Balance.
with Facey
And Coley. Yeah, that's.